Alright, so my heat shield. This is just a standard heat shield. My dad had an old roll of it, so I was able to use, again, a found object, which is great. But you can buy this stuff at most home construction supplies, Home Depots, places like that. Even people have recommended going to just like the dollar store, because this is what they also make, just those car, the foldable accordion sunshades for the front window. And I guess some people have found that even cheaper to get those and then cut them to the size that you need. Anyway, so I measured the windows. I have this awkward window in the very back trunk area, and then the side and front windows. I measured all the windows. I made it for the 6 windows, so 3 on the right side, 3 on the left side, and the front of the car is just covered with a standard one, and same goes for the back. I also have a standard one that I actually put on the outside of the car, that I secure it with bungee cords so it stays down there, and that's how I secure the back. But it's the same material, just made with sunscreens, pre-made manufactured sunscreens from, one was probably from a Dollar Tree. They were old ones that my parents had from old cars. So again, awesome with the used objects. This particular one, for the funky shape in the back, I covered the edges with this foil tape that I found. My dad had this stuff. It is great. So, see if you can see the label, United Tape Company. Anyway, you can get this at hardware stores. This stuff secured, it made it so that I could sort of make the edges fit a little bit better and keep it secure. Now, why this is so handy, because when this goes in the window, this is the one that doesn't really fit because of the way the frame, the plastic frame is made. So these hooks, why I love these suction cups, is because I can take the foil and lock it back in the cup, just like so, that it stays on the window and it seals it up. I know this isn't exact here. I could make it a little bit better. I just have to move the cup over, but just to show you guys what that does, and that keeps the heat shield secure. And I have one of those little suction cups in all 4 corners. So that would be the very back heat shield for both sides. Now, for the other windows were much easier. The front 2 and these 2 side windows, I just cut this to size, except for that I left about an inch on the top. The bottom lays flat, just goes behind the lock, if I can get it. That's the tricky part. So the bottom is just flat in there, but it's this top part that gets folded in like this into the actual window. And these are so secure, I can open the doors, they won't fall off because they're secure in the windows themselves, not the door. So they come out and go with everything, and that totally seals it in, blocks all light. It's incredible. It works great. The one thing though, because it's up against the glass, completely up against the glass, it's not the best for heat. People say that this heat shield works better if you have a little bit of distance in between it and your glass, so it can reflect the heat back out. Luckily, I haven't had one of those really hot days yet, so I haven't had to use it that way. But what I would do is I would actually just turn this around, and you'd put this where you fold this part. Let's show you. Sorry. Fold this part in forward, and then it sits back a little bit, the whole thing. I've done that. I've practiced. I haven't, like I said, I haven't had to do that. But you can fold it this way, and so that it's really hard to do with one hand while I'm holding the camera, but so that it does come back from the window a little bit, and that would give you your room in there that'll let the heat come in but then bounce back off, which is how this stuff is supposed to work. The other good thing, I've had some cold nights, and having this up at the windows certainly does seem to keep me warmer. If you touch it, it gets a little cold to the touch, but really it is not as cold as the outside. So this works really super good. It's my favorite stuff. I'm so glad I had this, and I encourage you to use that. For stealth, it's great because from the outside it just looks like you're protecting your car from the heat. I mean, maybe it is a little obvious, I don't know. Some people coat it with black fabric or get their windows tinted. I didn't want to do that. but that is one option. But what's great about these is that they don't let in or they don't let out any light. They don't let in any light when you're trying to sleep, and if you're in here on your phone or you got some light you're reading by or something, they won't really let the light out, so people won't see that there's somebody hanging out in their car.